frustrated, disappointed, anxious. These are all words I would use to describe how I felt this week. I just feel stuck. Anyone else feel the same? You're just ready for life to resume like we once knew it. And yet there seems to be no end in sight. So as I turn to Philippians chapter 4, I find myself laughing a little bit at Paul's advice to the people of Philippi. Surely when Paul wrote about standing firm in the faith, he had no idea what those of us in 2020 would face. Surely if he knew how much our world would be turned upside down, he would not have given us the same guidelines for standing firm in the faith. Listen as I read from the Message version of Philippians 4. My dear, dear brothers, I love you so much. I do want the very best for you. You make me feel such joy, filled with such pride. Don't waver. Stay on track. Steady in God. Celebrate God all day, every day. I mean, revel in Him. Make it as clear as you can to all you meet that you're on their side, working with them and not against them. Help them see that the Master is about to arrive. He could show up any minute. Don't fret or worry. Instead of worrying, pray. Let petitions and praises shape your worries into prayers, letting God know your concerns. Before you know it, a sense of God's wholeness, everything coming together for good, will come and settle you down. It's wonderful what happens when Christ displaces worry at the center of your life. Part of standing firm in the faith is celebrating God, and not just sometimes, but all the time. I have found it super hard to celebrate, as there are many things that have left me feeling disappointed. We've all had our fair share of things canceled, things that we've been told we can no longer do. And as the days start to look and feel a lot like the day before, it becomes harder and harder to find things to celebrate. If that concept alone isn't hard enough to swallow, Paul goes on to say, don't fret or worry. Don't fret or worry. Is he crazy? When will all this be over? What will the fall look like for my kids or myself? How can I continue to do my job in the midst of this pandemic? Are my loved ones safe and healthy? These are just a few of the worries that come to my mind, and that's without me giving much thought to what I could be worried about. Then it hits me. Paul wrote these words while he was in prison. Maybe Paul can relate to my feelings of being stuck, feeling despair or disappointment more than I think. Certainly, Paul understood what it was like to live with an unknown future. So in the midst of sitting in a dark, lonely jail cell, he wraps up his advice of standing firm by saying this in verse 8 and 9, again from the Message version. Summing it all up, friends, I say you do best by filling your minds and meditating on things true, noble, reputable, authentic, compelling, gracious, the best, not the worst, the beautiful, not the ugly, things to praise, not things to curse. Standing firm in our faith is easy when life is going the way we think it should. But as we all know, life can change rapidly fast. And that's when we need to put into practice more than ever the various ways of standing firm. For some of you, today you need to practice celebrating God. For others, you need to focus on giving your worries of the unknown future to God, trusting that He has you and your family under control. For others, like me, you may need to fill your minds with things that are true, focusing on the best, not the worst, beautiful, not the ugly. Paul's letter was meant for the people of Philippi, but that's the beauty of the Bible. The message given is just as true for us in 2020 as it was many years ago.